might be one of the most impressive Epiphones I've played. Today I'm looking at the Epiphone inspired by Gibson Firebird. Gibson first launched the Firebird in 1963. It didn't really create much of a buzz and didn't catch on until years later. Now, believe it or not, it was originally conceived as a jazz guitar. You know, bebop jazz being the modern, cutting-edge music at the time. Now, like the Explorer and the Flying V, which both flopped when they were introduced in the late 50s, the Firebird was designed to one-up Fender, which was seen at the time as the more modern guitars than the traditional Gibson offerings. Now for me, what makes this Epiphone version so satisfying is how faithfully it sticks to most of the original design elements. The Firebird was Gibson's first neck-through guitar, and this Epiphone model has the same 9-piece mahogany walnut neck-through design as the original, unlike all of those models that have the Firebird shape but are actually conventional set-neck guitars. Yeah, big thumbs up for that. Now the headstock and tuners could be more authentic, but realistically, I'm sure that would have been cost prohibitive. So while I'd love to see the raised center section and even the banjo tuners of the original, the plain flat headstock and mini Grovers, they look fine and work well. In fact, these Grovers have an 18:1 ratio and feel smooth and solid as well. Now the pickups are the ProBucker FB720s. It has era-appropriate wiring and CTS pots. And of course the normal Gibson-style volume and tone control for each pickup, and a 3-way switch. Now the slim taper neck features medium jumbo frets, the usual Gibson 24 3/4-inch scale, a 12-inch fingerboard radius, and a 43mm Graphtec new bone nut. And it appears Epiphone has taken note of the competition, because it also features lightly rolled fingerboard edges. Nice. Now, like the other inspired by Gibson models, it does use an Indian laurel fingerboard. In my experience, those can be hit or miss when it comes to appearance. But this one looks pretty nice. Actually better than more than a few of the rosewood fingerboards I've seen. Now because the neck sits so much further to the left than most electrics, some people find the model awkward to play. I hadn't played one since the early 70s, and I was more than a little curious to see how I'd get along with it. And while I don't find it particularly uncomfortable, I do think it's actually best on a strap, and you'll notice that's how I'm playing it in the demos. It can feel like you're reaching a long ways to tune. Overall, though, I like the way it hangs on the strap with a headstock angle up into a great playing position that feels pretty natural right away. I have heard that some of the Gibson originals with the heavier banjo tuners can be prone to neck dive, but certainly not this Epiphone. About the only criticism on this one is the slightly prickly fret ends. Now, I've seen this on more than half the newer Epiphones I've played, and it's one area where the company could do well to up their game. It is common at this price point, but companies like Sire and PRS SE do make the effort to consistently deliver better overall fretwork. Now, Epiphone has improved their product in so many ways recently. Better fretwork would really take them to the next level. Still, at only $650, I consider this a deal. Even if it needs a little bit of work to get it ready for prime time, I'd say it's worth the effort. If you want a real Firebird and don't have at least a couple $1,000s for a used Gibson, well, this is a thoroughly legit replica. As always, thanks so much for watching. Go ahead and hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't, and I will see you again very soon.